Welcome to our last session. So today we are going to talk about microgoals, and this is one of my favorite parts of the program, so I'm really excited to share it with you. So this is the messaging system. This is another one of the tools that we use in this program. Now I know it's a little bit messy because it's kind of small font and a lot going on that left side of your screen, but let me orient you. So what I want you to focus on first is the red to green bar that's right underneath where it says messaging system. So that red to green continuum is the same continuum that is within the emotional guidance scale. So I put the emotional guidance scale at the bottom of the screen. Pretty small font, but you've already seen it before. You understand the gist of it, right? So on the red side, again, these are our energy depleting feelings. And then on the green side, this is our energy renewing feelings. So when we go to the messaging system, which is that circle above, this shows us how all of these external factors in our life can impact how we are feeling or where we are placing ourselves on the emotional guidance scale. So things like nutrition, physical activity, thoughts and emotion, relationships, sleep and restoration, all of these things can impact how we are feeling, whether we are feeling really low energy or great and high energy. So for example, for relationships, if you have an argument with a loved one, you are likely going to feel somewhere in that red zone. That's going to take a lot of energy from you and be a really heavy feeling. Versus if you finally get a really great night's sleep, 9 hours, and you slept right through the night, you didn't have to wake up once, you may wake up in the morning feeling really restored, feeling somewhere in the green zone. So all of these external factors can make a big impact on how we are feeling. So some examples of these different categories would be, within nutrition, it could be, maybe goals within each of these would be that you want to eat more vegetables, or maybe you're only eating 1 or 2 meals a day and you'd like to eat a regular 3 meals a day. Physical activity are things like stretching, walking, weights, swimming, things like that. Thoughts and emotions, these are really anything that you're feeling or thinking, but gratitude, deep breathing can impact how your thoughts and emotions are. Hobbies can be a part of this category. Positivity, strengths, anything like that can fall into thoughts and emotions. In relationships, so these can be loved ones, this can be family members, friends. It can also be things like pets. You have a relationship with pets, and some people often say plants. Like if they are watering their plants, that is a relationship between, the person and the plant. So relationships can be a really broad topic. And then sleep and restoration. So this doesn't have to just be that you're getting more sleep. It could be that you're getting deeper sleep, or that you're taking some time to relax before you go to sleep. Additionally, other things could be hobbies can also fall into this. Things that give you time to reset and give you a little bit of you time. Okay, so in order to think about all these external factors that are impacting our daily lives, what we want to do in this session is create a micro goal. So something that will help us prioritize our well-being within these sessions or within these sections of things that are impacting us. So a micro goal is something that is big enough that you feel accomplished, you feel satisfied if you're able to reach the goal, but it's still small enough that it's attainable and it's very practical. So oftentimes we may say for nutrition, for example, well, I want to eat more vegetables. But we need to define that. Like, what does that really mean? Because if you just say you want to eat more vegetables, the odds that you're reaching this kind of vague, very big goal ends up being very slim, and then we don't end up sticking with our goals the way we could if we really define them. So the structure that we use is creating a statement that says, I will blank, at least blank, and will feel blank. So with the example within nutrition, instead of saying I want to eat more vegetables, we will say I will eat at least 1 vegetable. We're defining how many vegetables we want to eat. And now this one has a second at least 3 times a week, and will feel proud. So that's how we can really structure the micro goal so it is something that is attainable. And it's small enough to where, okay, I feel like I could eat 1 broccoli 3 times a week. Maybe that isn't my ultimate goal, but it's a good starting place. But it's big enough to where we can achieve it and then we can feel good that we did it. So the next example for physical activity, for example, would be, I want to stretch more. So your I will statement will be, I will stretch for 10 minutes at least 2 mornings each week and will feel recharged. So that I will, at least, and will feel. This could be another one where you could have added another at least before the 10 minutes if you wanted to. So the reason we use that at least is because it gives you that minimum goal so that you have the opportunity to go over that goal if you'd like to. For thoughts and emotion, the example is, I want to be more positive. Again, great goal, but it's vague and we're probably not going to be able to just magically do that or feel like we achieved it. So I will identify at least one thing that I am grateful for at least once a day and will feel joy. For relationships, I want to talk to my friends more. So then that edited statement would be, I will call a friend at least twice a month and will feel connected and loved. So this is one of those where if you noticed, calling a friend maybe did twice a month because that would be reasonable to me, versus calling them twice a day would be something that would be unreasonable to me. So it can be through months, it can be through days, it can be through weeks, whatever time frame that works better for you. And then for sleep and restoration, the last example, I want to reset and be calm. Again, it's a little bit general, so we need to make it more specific so that it's achievable. So I will take 5 deep breaths at least once a day and will feel at peace. So this is the structure for how we want you to make your micro goals. So there is a sheet that you can download on the website where you can print it or you can edit it directly on the computer if you want to use the sheet to guide you in creating these micro goals. But alternatively, if you don't want to use the sheet that we uploaded, you could just take out a piece of paper or again, type it on your computer or write it on your phone, and you can create these goals for yourself. So it can seem overwhelming to create a goal for every single one of these 5 factors. So instead, maybe choose 2 or 3 to start with. You don't have to fix everything all at once. The purpose of this is so that you can prioritize your own well-being. And the reason that we want to focus on this is because caregivers give and they give and they give. And that is what makes them so honorable and just truly the best humans in the world are caregivers. So what we want to remind you is that even though you are caring and you are giving constantly, you have to care and give a little bit to yourself too. So this is your reminder to make a small goal for 1 or 2, maybe 3 of these things so that you will be able to prioritize yourself, even if it's just for a moment, each day, each week, each month, whatever it is. So go ahead and pause the video and create your couple micro goals that you'd like to create. I hope you have a couple goals now that you can work on. Remember to check in with your micro goals. If some of them seem like they are a little bit too hard, you're having a difficult time achieving those goals, then just adjust them. Maybe instead of every day, you're going to do something every 3 days or something like that. Adjust them so that there's that perfect balance for you. And if you feel like something is a little bit too easy and it's not rewarding when you achieve it, then go ahead and make that one a little bit harder. Do it for longer or a little bit more often. And then once after a couple weeks of doing this or a couple months, maybe check back in and see if there is another section that you want to work on. So maybe sleep that you didn't make a goal for before, you can do this time. Something like that, so that you can find time to prioritize your own goals and your own well-being. Because I know that you are working really hard as a caregiver, but you have to remember that you deserve to be cared for as well, and you have to fill your own cup. So your well-being matters, and I hope that this just gives you a little bit of a reminder of how to prioritize your own well-being, even in your very busy lives. Thank you so much. So this is the end of our series. I have really enjoyed my time spending with you all, and I am hopeful that you will find something within this program that you can take home and use in your daily life, whether it be that you practice using the micro goals, you use some of the deep breathing techniques, you now identify your strengths better, or you use that emotional guidance scale. I hope something resonated with you all. Something that would be helpful to me is we have uploaded a survey on the website, and if you could just tell me a couple of things that you liked about this program, what things you didn't like about this program, that will help me adapt it in the future so that it's really geared towards caregivers' needs and the likes and dislikes of them. So I'd really appreciate your feedback. That would be very meaningful to me and help me improve this program for the future. So again, thank you so much. And I'm so proud of you for finishing this full series.